I want to go to Caleb Bonham now. And Caleb, look, I'm sorry I didn't tell people before we got out of break that you were coming. And I saw this story the other day on your site. And I wanted to talk about it then. And now here we are. And this is, you're talking about Daniel Mayo. Is it Mayo?
Yeah, Daniel Mall.
Daniel Mall, yeah, at Brandeis University. I find these stories so fascinating, Caleb. And by the way, folks, sorry for the intro. CampusReform.org is Caleb's site. And he's got the story about the student. And Caleb, you probably better explain it. You know it better than me.
Yeah, so Campus Reform is a project of the Leadership Institute, and we work on exposing, bias and abuse on campus from liberals, and we were reporting on what the liberals are doing at our institutions of higher learning, and this is a crazy story. So after the tragedy, in New York City, when the two police officers were assassinated execution style, this arrogant little liberal decides that she's going to tweet out that she has no sympathy for the NYPD officers who were murdered today. She starts, talking about in her tweet how she's laughing her little butt off, and that she doesn't have any sympathy with cops that are shot, and that this is a racist country. Okay, so. That's the beginning of the story. Well, the good folks over at Truth Revolt and Daniel Mall found this. Daniel is a little rabble-rouser over at Brandeis University, and he started to report on her tweets because she's a student leader. She is a undergraduate department representative, which means she trains up-and-coming, as Rush would say, young little skulls full of mush that are coming up. So she's training these young students, and she's tweeting that out. So he simply writes a report on her tweets because those are highly offensive, highly inflammatory, outrageous remarks.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Then the whole university, not the whole university community, but many of the liberal activists on campus, and Brandeis is well known for its liberal activists, start getting outraged at the comments. Not the comments of Miss Lynch, this young woman who tweeted out this anti-cop rhetoric, but at Daniel Mall for reporting on this. And they start giving him threats. They start a petition to get him, the university, to have him held accountable for his slander, which I think is hilarious because it was written, not spoken.
Young skulls full of mush don't know what the word slander actually means.
Exactly. And so they're tweeting out that, and I quote from the Change.org petition, which if any of you guys are interested, you got to go to campusreform.org and check out this Change.org petition. They say that this is libel. This is defamation of character. They do say it's libel because they corrected themselves eventually. This is defamation of character. This is cyberbullying. This should not be condoned.
Cyberbullying, yeah. So highlighting her own words as cyberbullying.
Exactly. Reporting on her talking about how she has no sympathy for cops that were literally lined up execution style and brutally assassinated. It's outrageous. The petition finishes with this. And this is what we see here at Campus Reform all the time, how liberals are rising up on campus. They say that the Brandeis University administration really needs to realize that this is selective belittling of the girl that sent these tweets out. It's selective belittling. Eric, you want to know what selective belittling is? Selective belittling is calling out two cops that were just murdered and claiming that you have no sympathy for them and that this is a racist country and that essentially that they deserve to die. That's selective belittling. That is horrible. And Daniel Mall should be commended for his report and the work that he's doing.
Now, I read somewhere, I thought, that even faculty were upset with this guy daring to point this stuff out.
Well, you have the whole Brandeis University faculty seems to have their ideology all messed up because they're the same university there was going to be giving the honorary degree to Herzi Ali, the feminist activist that is supporting women's rights in the Middle East.
Oh, we can't have that.
Do that. Because, she came out with anti-Muslim remarks when she's talking about the real war on women. Yeah, the university administrators were calling for him to be held accountable and all that sort of stuff, and it shows how radical.
Caleb, this goes exactly to what I've been talking about here. That they want to make you care about these things, and if you care the wrong way, they want to drive you from the public square, deny you your First Amendment rights, hound you out of your job, hound you out of your school. They will abide. They said dissent was patriotic when George Bush was president, and now if you dare dissent from the liberal zeitgeist, they want to shut you up, shut you down, or drive you away.
Exactly. And that's why we're seeing such, I think, division in the national level of politics, is because we're seeing a new generation of American citizen rise up, those that have been taught through our institutions that, America is to blame for pretty much all the world's problems, that America is a racist country, that America is an unfair and unequal country. And so when it gets to that level, it's because of what they're being taught at the campus level.
You got great institutions like Hillsdale out there that Rush and I love, and you got conservatives on some campuses, and they want to make us be fearful and whatnot. Look, Caleb, I got a hard break coming up, but tell Martin Blackwell I said hi. Campus Reform and Leadership Institute I dearly love both organizations. I was trained when I became a political consultant by Leadership Institute. Fine folks, and this is just such a good story, indicative of these people hounding good people out of the public square for daring to speak up and highlight just the demeaning, just awfulness of the left. They will make you care.